Dear Pastor Bob, what do you think about casinos? Are we as Christians allowed to go there and gamble? Why are they so addictive that you just want to go there? Great question. There's so many things in life that can become addictive. That's absolutely one of them. You know, countless numbers of families, relationships have been ended by this addiction. It can be a really tough one. It's one that I don't fully understand. I have never put money in a slot machine or done any kind of gambling like that with finances. I never have. I've just always felt like it was a very foolish waste of money, and yet you see people do it. A couple years ago, I was in Las Vegas, which is known for its gambling, and just watching the people just sitting there, in the slot machines, pulling the lever over and over and losing over and over and putting so much money in. And you see this blank stare on their faces. They're losing their shirts, many of them. I remember one evening going back to the hotel, and you can't go anywhere in Las Vegas without finding slot machines. The gas station, restaurants, the hotel, anywhere. And I remember it wasn't a large hotel, and it didn't have a lot of slot machines, but I remember this one woman, and I was sitting eating, this one woman that had probably come back from a long day of gambling and just had this blank stare on her face. And I remember that as she went over to the elevator to go to her room, she kind of paused for a minute and then went over to the slot machine, starting feeding in coins and started pulling the lever. And I noticed that her hands were trembling, and she was freaked out. She was beside herself. I'm sure she had probably just lost her money, and she was, well, in dire straits. And so many people are like that. Well, you say, I'll never become one of those people if I gamble. I'm sure she said that too. One of the best ways to fight addiction is to not get started. Honestly. The best way to fight porn addiction is not to start watching it. The best way to stop drug addiction is to never take, the drugs in the first place, or alcoholism, never to take a drink in the first place, or gambling addiction, never to start in the first place. First of all, it's not a very responsible way to handle your finances. And the Bible does give us some responsibility. And you say, well, Pastor Bob, what if you're just going to go to Las Vegas for the weekend and you decide to blow $100 in the slot machines, and so you just sit there and do that? Is that okay? Everybody has to decide for themselves. But I can think of a whole lot of better ways of spending $100 than to sit in front of a machine and doing that. Now, if it's the excitement that you like, well, there are video games. And once you purchase the game, you don't have to spend any more money. That's probably a better idea. And go and spend the money on food with friends or whatever, something a little more productive than pulling the lever and gambling. God bless you. Have a great day.